Hello, today we're going to take a look at using the barcode QSX module, specifically the .NET version, and we are going to configure it not only to recognize barcodes but focus on a specific zone. And then yet another caveat we want to throw at this particular process is being able to recognize barcodes on different pages of a single document. So in this case I set up a two-page document. I want to read XY coordinates in the upper left-hand region of this particular image, page 1. And I also want to read it for the same document, but in page 2. This just happens to be in the same relative proximity as the previous page, but it doesn't have to be. So to do that, I'm going to use the CAPSYS Capture Server Manager application to define my process map. I've kind of already set one up here. And I set up two barcode steps, one to recognize the values in page 1 and then another QSX to recognize the values on page 2. I'm going to use the image cleanup module in front of these barcode modules because I want to make sure that I do my image deskewing and despeckling. And then there are other options here you can see we can set. After I've configured image cleanup, the first thing I want to do is go to the barcode QSX .NET page 1 that I've dropped on my process map, and I'm going to do document separation with this QSX in addition to reading the barcodes. Now the separation module, you can use patch code detection, barcode detection, blank pages as separators, and you can also have the software count based on page numbers. So I'm going to count every 2 pages, and after the software has done the counting, it will set a doc type and break the document out of the batch, and in this case it will set it to be donor history doc type. So after I've done my document separation configuration, the next step is I want to go ahead and do my barcode recognition process when I actually want to read the value that's contained on a barcode. So I'm going to choose my doc type here because I want to define it for this particular document profile. I'm also going to set the barcode type. The default out of the box is to use any 1D or any of these other values you can set. In this case, I know that these particular documents are encoded with a 3 of 9. I can set a minimum character length that I'm expecting to help with some exception handling. In this case, I'm going to use the zonal barcode feature in the software. Zonal barcode will let me set a specific XY region in which I'm expecting a barcode to be present on my document. I'm going to pick the field that I want to define the zone to map to. I'm going to choose my marquee tool, and then I'm just going to use the mouse to highlight the area or region of the document which I'm expecting the barcode value to be present. I can use this quick test feature that will immediately do a test and determine whether or not the barcode was readable. It says code 3 of 9D, so I know everything is good there. And when I'm done, I hit my save and close, and I've completed the definition for this step in the process. And remember, the goal here is not only to read a zone, but read a zone on page 1 and read a zone on page 2. So that's why I have the second step in the process. So after this case, we call documents or batches that are completed in the system a case. Once this case is completed, this step, I want the software automatically routed to barcode separator.net page 2. So let's take a look at the configuration for it. I do not need to enable document separation because I already broke the batch into individual documents in this previous step here. So that's why I don't have any of this checked or configured. So I'm going to now go to barcode recognition settings. I'm going to choose, choose my document type again, which happens to be donor history. Again, defined as a 3 of 9. Set a minimum length I'm expecting. I'm going to hit a define zonal barcode, and again I'm going to follow the same process. Donor rec ID 2 is the field I'm interested in defining, and I'm going to marquee that area. I could test it if I want. I don't need to in this case. I can go ahead and hit save and close. However, what's different here is I'm going to choose this option called overwrite field. And this is because we've already read the value in the page 1. And because page 1 values have already been read by the barcode module, I need to tell the software to overwrite that value with page 2's contents. So I'm going to say overwrite donor rec ID 2 field with the value that was recognized during the recognition process of page 1. I know it sounds a little confusing. If you think about it, it makes sense. We're going to read all the values of pages 1 through n. When I get to page 2, really that's the values I'm interested in, is what page 2's barcode value was set to, and I'm going to tell it to overwrite that field. So once I've clicked that option, I'm going to hit save and close. And now my barcode definition process is completely set. So the last thing we need to do after we have gone through and configured our QSXs for the various features that we want to have enabled, I must always hit the activate button. Activate will then take my configuration and apply it to the database and put it into production, so now my end users can begin using the profile with the changes I've made to it. So just a quick test of how this would work now. I'm going to go ahead and actually bring sample documents into the system. I'm going to go ahead, and this is using the web browser. So I'm going to import an image called page 1A, and I'm going to append to it the second page. And I'll pick 2A. So there's my 2-page document, page 1, page 2. I'm going to go ahead and release it. What release does is transmits it from my web client over to the server to be processed. This happens to be running in the cloud in Microsoft Azure right now. I can hop on over to the server and just take a quick gander at the server to see that it actually did already process my case. So it'll be sitting in my index queue. Batch 539, there it is. Batch 539 gave me the value of, for field 1, code 3 of 9D as I expected. And page 2 gave me a value of Wikipedia. Hopefully this was informational and educational. Thank you for your time.